Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio. So glad you are here with us. In this video, me and Joshua, we're going to do a spoiler-free review of Spider-Man No Way Home. We literally just got done watching it about 40 minutes ago. So, first thoughts. What do you like it? Disappointment? What is it?
I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
This is going to be very difficult not to spoil a single thing because
Yep.
there's a lot to it. I feel like every 10 minutes was a spoiler.
Yeah, something like that.
Every 10 minutes we had something to spoil.
Well, the spoilers can be like the story as a whole, but like the big reveals and everything that we even got a taste of from the trailer, it's pretty heavy. So what overall you give it a 9 out of 10?
9 out of 10.
Personally, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. And it's not to say that I didn't like it. I actually really liked it. I'm not the biggest fan of Marvel, but I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm a big fan of Spider-Man, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. By far, this is the best Spider-Man, probably the best Spider-Man that they've ever made.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
It probably still competes with maybe Tobey Maguire 1 or 2.
2.
Maybe 2. It competes with 2. Now, as we know from the trailer, the villains in this is gonna be, you have Doctor Octopus, you got Green Goblin, you have Sandman, you have the lizard guy from The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, and you also have Electro. And so there's a handful of villains, but exactly how that plays out, obviously you have to see the movie. But I would say that 80% of how that played out was pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
Obviously, without giving anything away, if I'm going to review kind of these villains, I would say I kind of like Electro.
Electro?
Well, no, he's not my favorite.
Green Goblin the best.
I'm not talking about the
Willem
best.
played
He did. I think
really
Willem. I think Willem was the Green Goblin was the best villain in this film, the strongest villain, and I think that was intentional because he was the very first live action Spider-Man villain on screen, and he's just an incredible character, an incredible actor. He came in very strong. But I would say, in my opinion, since everyone knows from the trailer that Electro is in this, I was going to give a shout out and say, you know how you kind of didn't like Electro too much from The Amazing Spider-Man? A lot of people were disappointed by him as a character.
I liked him.
I would say he came through a bit stronger in this
He came
movie
stronger, yes.
than in the Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man.
Doc Ock was not very strong, I feel like.
Well, he wasn't as strong as when he was in his movie, but he was classic, classic Doc Ock. There's so many cool things as far as character development with Spider-Man and MJ. I would say that they really did a lot of building their relationship.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a lot of people were saying this before I watched it, that they get really in depth with their relationship. I would kind of disagree. I would say it felt more like we were entering a hectic environment with a relationship that's already strong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in some ways, and this is one of the reasons I don't give it like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, is because
the development wasn't great.
Well, it's not that the development wasn't great, it's that we didn't see the development.
Okay.
So in Far From Home, we know that there was relationship development, but not super strong relationship development.
Yeah.
And then we go into this film, and it's like they're a perfect couple in many ways. And you kind of get that vibe from the trailer. I'm just saying I didn't see that progression with them. It's like they skipped a section of time where they were like actually working on being boyfriend girlfriend.
They did have a section they kind of skipped without giving anything away. There's kind of a montage scene at the beginning, and there's a development. There's a time, we don't know how long, however long that is, and we don't see them.
They said it's
getting their relationship.
Yeah, and from what I believe, because we know from the trailer, they opens and Mysterio revealed the identity of Spider-Man. And we know also from the trailer, Spider-Man doesn't want to be known by everybody, but he wants to make sure the people closest to him can remember. And goes after Doctor Strange to get help from that. But what I'm seeing is like just that period of time between the end of Far From Home and starting No Way Home was very short, and it kind of felt like their relationship was on, a good level.
Well, there was a good solid period of time.
I think it was about a week, wasn't it?
No. There was more time than that. You're forgetting the montage scene where, I don't want to say because I don't want to give anything away, but the montage scene of them figuring out what comes after them talking about him being Spider-Man.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
There was a montage scene.
Okay. Well, either way, so things that were fun, characters that we know are going to be in the movie that you kind of liked. Personally, I thought Happy was amazing in the film.
He didn't do much though.
Hey, that's a spoiler. That's a spoiler. Don't say Happy didn't do much.
He didn't do much.
He was Happy. He was classic Happy. I really enjoyed him in this movie.
I guess.
Well, give your thoughts.
I don't know how to give my thoughts without spoiling anything else.
Okay, so what did you think? I as far as like Peter's friends, what's his friend's name? I've already forgotten.
Flash.
Or
no,
his friend.
Your
his best friend.
The guy in the chair, Ned.
Yeah, Ned. I thought the guy in the chair, Ned. I actually thought him as a character was super well developed in this movie.
Yeah,
I thought their friendship took even more steps forward.
They didn't do much with him in
Far From Home.
Far From Home because he kind of had that relationship, and he was almost the comic relief. He wasn't a development. He
wasn't a
his
developed character in that movie. Yeah.
So,
but
they put him in a relationship, and then at the end of the movie, they took the relationship away. So it was like just to give him something to do during that movie.
Yes, for sure. And he was the comic relief in Far From Home. He was even less interactive with Peter from Homecoming. In this movie, we saw a great friendship that actually built on itself. And he has some surprises for his character as well, which is kind of fun. And even MJ, like we've seen a side in this movie, a side of her that we hadn't seen before. It's pretty true. And I'm not going to say any spoilers. I'm just going to say if you happen to have been spoiled on anything, because I know there are tons of things on the internet, even though people are not asking for them necessarily. If anything's been spoiled for you and you might feel down in the dumps, I would say the movie's still so much more than what you might think is spoiled. So there's so much to this movie. You have to watch it. It's not spoiled for you. There's so much in it that you're going to enjoy and still going to be mind blown on many parts.
Yep.
And any final thoughts that you would give?
5 words or less?
5 words or less.
Without spoiling anything?
Yeah. Gosh.
I don't know how to say this without giving it away.
5 words or less. It's probably going to have to do something with Doctor Strange or... You know what? We should save this for the podcast.
Okay. We'll save it for the podcast. If you want to hear our 5 words or less, go check out Wiseworks Podcast.
But not until the new year.
Not until the new year.
So we have a full podcast, like Josh said, Wiseworks Podcast. It's on its own YouTube channel and on Spotify. Mm-hmm. And we're doing a no spoiler review here, but we're probably not going to talk about Spider-Man too much more on this channel. We will, however, most likely either do a big section of a podcast or a whole podcast on Spider-Man No Way Home, where we do talk about all of the big things in the movie, and it's going to be spoiling pretty heavily. But we're going to wait until the new year after Christmas. That's when we start up season 10. So if you're interested in hearing our commentary on it and hear tons of other stuff we've done, Wiseworks Podcast, check it out. And if you enjoyed this video and you're looking forward to seeing more content of reviews and reactions and all kinds of things, consider subscribing.
And like and comment on this video.
Yeah. Tell us if you watched the movie yet, and tell us if you haven't, when you're going to watch the movie. Maybe you're watching with family at Christmas or something. So.
And for people who have not seen the video, please do not spoil anything in the comments, because
Absolutely.
We do not want... It's a lot more exciting if you can go to the theater and watch it and not be spoiled. You want
Absolutely.
just get that full experience.
I would recommend going to the theater, even if you have to do like a
Go
matinee
it.
and
Do it.
not spend
Do it
as much
now.
money. Do it now, because it's not only the fact it's more fun in a theater, but the longer it's out, people are gonna. You have a higher probability of it being spoiled for it. Just do it.
Do it.
Do it. We're very happy that you watched this video. We love you, and we'll see you
Next time.
in the next time.
And in the new year.
And in the new year. Happy holidays, everybody.